Welcome to qnawire.
Okay, in this problem we are looking to figure out numbers that are divisible by 5 and divisible by 6 in a range. So I'm just going to say for x in range, and the range we're looking for is 100 through 1,000. So I have to write down 1,001 because that whatever the biggest number is always gets 1 subtracted from it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to test to see if that number is exactly divisible by 5 then I have what I want, and what I want to do is I want to add that to an output string. So I'm going to say output string I'm going to add it to that number, string of x, and then I want to have spaces separating them, and so I'm going to draw that right there. So I need a variable right here called output string, and I'm going to set that equal to blank. And if I run this, I don't get, because I'm not printing. I'm going to say print output string. And so if I print this, I get all of the numbers from 100 to 1,000 that are divisible by 5. And I don't have them ordered at all. I need to put them in groups of 10. So I'll come back to that. And I also don't have the sixes. And so if I wrote if x modulo divide by 6 equals 0, boom, I need a colon, and then I do the same thing right here. So I can go Control C, Control V. Okay, if I did this, I would get all the numbers. Excuse me, but some of the numbers would appear twice because 120 is divisible by 5 and 6, and so I want to make this an LF, and that'll get rid of that 120 only appears once. Now I need to print them in groups of 10. So I'm going to say num equals to 0 to keep track of that. And what I'm doing, every time I find one, I'm going to increment num. And actually, I don't have to do that right. Yeah, I do. I'm going to say num plus equals 1. And if I find one right here, I'm going to say num plus equals 1. And then, after I find my numbers, if num is equal to 10, which means I've had 10 successes, I'm going to reset num back to 0. I'm going to print the output string, and I'm going to reset the output string back to empty, and I don't need this anymore. And so if I print it, num equals 0. I've got 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 columns. I start with 100, but notice I don't get the last number, which is probably 1,000, and I don't get it because I'm only printing full sets of 10 values. And so I've got two things I want to print. One is every time I've got a set of 10, I want to print it. Otherwise, if I'm on my very last number and I haven't formed a full set, so if x is equal to 1000, then I want to print the output string. I don't want to print it, I want to print it. And so now when I print, I've got my full sets, and I end up with a only one item in that last category. For some reason you want to change this, you could make this a variable and then have that be the variable plus 1. That'd be a nice way to do it, but that's how you solve that problem.